main bit of news here is that Spire Motorsports has made the brilliant decision, in my opinion, to drop Corey Lajoie for 2025. When this news came out about Rodney Childers going to the 7 team, we all were kind of like, well, why are you going to put one of the best crew chiefs in the garage with a super underproven guy who really hasn't had a lot of success in Corey Lajoie? The narrative at first was, kind of a put up or shut up kind of deal for Lajoie. And then thankfully Spire also realized that's kind of a stupid idea. Let's try and get someone else in that seat. And again, no disrespect to Lajoie as a person. He's been there, done that. He's given it a shot. He's done the best he can, but maybe this is the end of the road for him in the Cup Series. I'm not sure.
It was really interesting, Rod, because I felt like the first couple years of his career, we saw him and Ross kind of like racing back there in some back markers. And I kind of thought they were on like the same talent level for a long time. And it just feels like it hasn't come to fruition for Corey Lajoie. I mean, he's back in the 30s in the points this season. We know that Spire Motorsports equipment is getting better, but we just haven't seen the progression from Corey Lajoie in that 7 team. Do you think this is the right decision?
It has to be at this point. I mean, look, there's admiration, or it's admirable to have the stacking pennies mentality, right? But at some point, you got to start stacking nickels, dimes, quarters. You have to start making more moves than just putting those pennies. I know that if you stack pennies, you're going to get somewhere, right? I've had that 5-gallon jug, water jug, where you toss a penny in there, and then after 10 years, you finally got $6. But again, after 10 years, you got $6. Like, you at some point have to invest a little more into this if you want to see more out of it. So again, this team was waiting for something to happen, and I think they waited too long in that mentality, and they weren't making the big enough moves to get there. Now this team is making moves, and they're ready to move on to something bigger and better. And while Corey Lajoie helped make where they're at, I mean, They got halfway through the jug. They need somebody that's going to start throwing quarters and dollar bills in there. And I think they knew that Corey Lajoie is not that guy right now. So they got to chase after whoever that's going to be.
Yeah, I mean, Lajoie apparently also threw a little bit of shade at Spire's lone win so far, which came in 2019 when Justin Haley got a lucky rain shortened win. Said something about, I want to be the first person to put a win banner up. I mean, I know they have one from 2019, but that wasn't really a race team back then. So trying to get as many digs as he can out the door. And now that leaves another open seat, as we thought silly season was mostly closed up. We got another one open now. I mean, Bob has already said it's probably not going to happen. Most people have said it's not going to happen. I think Kyle Busch has got to do everything he can to get in that 7 car. I know they're not really at a good level right now, but RCR is on a downward trend and Spire is on an upward trend, especially now with rumors that the Andretti family might be trying to get into the NASCAR Cup Series. Naturally, the relationship with Spire is already there. Gainbridge is a sponsor of both teams. They've worked with Marco before. I think that they could be on an upward climb and get the best out of Kyle Busch's late career, as would Rodney Childers. But that's not very likely to happen. So who would you guys throw in this number 7 car?
I think the favorites, like, I know we said it's not likely to happen. I trust the word of Bob Pockris more than I trust my own mother and my own father's word, to be honest with you guys. But at the same time, like, Rowdy would still maybe be the betting favorite here. They have that connection. He's been running the Truck Series races with them this season.
I mean, they bought Kyle Busch Motorsports out of that shop.
Yeah, exactly. So I think there's a connection there, and oh my God, would that dynamic connection between Rodney and Kyle Busch be fun to watch? Aside from him, Zane Smith is kind of the one name that comes to mind for me, Rod. Already kind of, been in that building a little bit, has seen some familiar faces, and it's starting to come on here later in the year.
And that's honestly who you probably would think it would be at. But I do, I know guys like Ryan Preece are still looking for a ride. I don't know that you would want to put him in the 7. He is a proven commodity in Cup, but is he better than what you're leaving behind? I mean, if you're going to make a move like this, you have to bring either a young potential guy in. And for all honesty, guys, Zane Smith's not young, right? I mean, when we're talking in the echelon of age, he's not the youngest kid in the thing. So it's not somebody you build a team around for years to come. So you either have to look at that aspect or, again, bring a Rowdy in. But I don't think if you're going to do that, that's a big splash. And that's something that's hard to cover up. So I don't know. It's difficult this seat is difficult to predict.
Can I throw one more out there?
Go for it. Christian
Eckes. He's a Chevrolet guy. I think the connection's there. He's been on multiple podcasts in the last couple of weeks saying that he has options in all 3 series. So I think Christian Eckes could potentially be here and play as well. Elliot, your thoughts on Eckes and anyone maybe we missed?
Yeah, I mean, Eckes wouldn't be too bad, but otherwise I think we got the bases covered. If there is a team that's going to make a big splash, though, it's Spire, and we've seen that multiple times over the years with the things they've done. So Rowdy would be the fun one. Zane Smith makes the most sense because, as we've mentioned before, obviously the charter agreement's not set in stone yet, but the rumor is that no team is going to be allowed to have more than 3 charters. Trackhouse has 4 Cup-worthy drivers on their roster, and Chastain, Suarez, Shane Van Gisbergen, and Zane Smith.
Yeah.
Obviously, they're probably going to go with SVG over Zane. They're keen on keeping Suarez. They're keen on keeping Ross. Easiest thing is, hey, Zane, we put you in the Spire ride. We're sorry we can't bring you over here. We're going to try to put you in the best place possible with Spire, in one of the best crew chiefs in the garage there, too. But you can go out of the box. Eckes wouldn't surprise me. Priest I hadn't really thought of, but that could be a possibility also. A guy
No, come on. Come on.
I think it's a remote possibility, but I do think some of these other Chevy names are probably better off.
Mayer, give me Sam Mayo over Ryan Preece. Like, at least there's a little bit of untapped upside, maybe.
Yeah.
Let us know in the comments, guys. Who did we miss? Were we on to anyone that you think could potentially fill this number 7 car? We want to hear from you.